Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nakram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. A new portal will give citizens instant access to their bank accounts. GECOM has started verifying candidate lists and is giving parties 48 hours to fix mistakes. The National Intelligence and Security Agency, NISA, is using smart tech and teamwork to keep Guyana safe. And Barbadians are excited about the Palmyra Stadium, describing it as a game changer for sports and tourism in the county. Plans are in train for the establishment of a portal that will allow citizens to have instant access to their bank account as part of a broader digital transformation agenda. This announcement was made by President Dr. Irfan Ali, who said the initiative would enable citizens to conduct financial transactions with ease.
We'll establish a portal that will allow citizens to have instant access to their bank account. You can stay at home with a card and do all your financial transactions from your bed. That is the future we are talking about. One in which you can walk to a kiosk in the market and renew your driver's license. No longer lines. A future in which you no longer have to walk around with your medical file with tons of documents, but your record will be based on one electronic card. That is the future we're talking about. A future that when you go to conduct your business at a state agency, you're not told to go to GPO, then go to GRA, then go to forestry, then go back to GMC. A future in which the technician sitting behind a computer will have all your records by the click of a button, so you don't have to run around. So that you don't lose productive time. A future that put our country ahead of the competition.
This plan, he said, is part of a broader initiative that will see a reform of the banking sector.
Over the next 5 years, we will reform and modernize our financial sector so that you can have greater ease at doing businesses in the bank and across this country. We have to remove the burden that you go through at the banks. We have to remove the final layers of bureaucracy that sometimes destroys our efficiency at every single level, whether it's the payment of pension, whether it's the payment of benefit, delivery of health care, delivery of education, financial services in the banking sector. We must modernize the system to remove every barrier, every form of bureaucracy.
The president also committed more investment in human capital development and building facilities to support sports, entertainment, and tourism over the next 5 years if re-elected to office. From online banking to ballot boxes, nomination day is now over, and the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, has begun verifying candidate lists to ensure they meet all legal requirements. Chairperson, Justice Retired Claudette Singh, told reporters outside Imaniani yesterday that political parties will have 2 days to correct any discrepancies found during the review.
The CEO will be receiving the list, and should there be any defects in the list needing correction, that will be done within 2 days. So, and corrections will be done.
Justice Singh reaffirmed GECOM's readiness for the upcoming general and regional elections set for September 1st. She described nomination day as part of the operational core of the Commission's work. One important update this year is a modified nomination form, now required for submission along with all candidate lists, including the National Top-Up List, Geographic Constituency List, and the Regional Democratic Council List. The new form clearly states its purpose so that nominators know they're signing as supporters of a political party. GECOM said this change was necessary, as in the past, some people denied signing as nominators, which caused delays in processing. Candidate lists have now been posted outside GECOM 4th Street office to allow the general public to participate in the verification process. As Ghana heads towards December 1st general and regional elections, a new political player is shaking things up. The We Invest in Nationhood Party, or WIN, led by U.S.-sanctioned businessman Azrin Mohammed, has made a bold entrance with high-energy rallies, strong social media presence, and, most notably, the backing of former senior APNU AFC officials. Among them, former PNCR General Secretary Natasha Singh Lewis, ex-ministers Don Hastings and Tabitha Sorebo Haley, and former Region 10 Vice Chairman Mark Goring. The party's rise has sparked speculations that it could split the opposition vote, but APNU leaders say they aren't alarmed. Ganesh Mahipal, a candidate and senior figure within the coalition, downplayed the significance of WIN's emergence. He acknowledged that Mohammed has generated some buzz, but insisted that APNU's base remains strong and committed. Mahipal noted that the coalition has expanded, growing from 5 parties to 7. He said the PNCR's membership alone has more than doubled since the last election, a sign, he said, of a united and growing movement.
In 2020, you would recall, it was 5 parties that came together to form APNU, and in 2025, we are now 7 parties. That is a testimony to our strength. We have grown. Outside of that, the largest party in the coalition is the PNCR, and that party's membership also grew significantly, moving from 18,000 in 2020 to 23,000 now in 2025. So there is remarkable growth in terms of our membership, both at the level of the PNCR and the parties that form the coalition. So we are not bothered by any other party that has been formed, the newcomers as they say, or the Johnny now come lately.
With nominations now submitted and campaigning in full swing, Ghana's election field is officially crowded, but how the numbers stack up at the polls remains to be seen. For now, APNU is projecting confidence, while WIN continues to pitch itself as a new alternative. Meanwhile, on the international stage, Ghana is sounding alarm over escalating atrocities in Sudan, particularly the widespread reports of rape and sexual violence against women and girls. Speaking at United Nations UN Security Council, Ghana's Deputy Permanent Representative to United Nations, Ambassador Choshala Prasad, condemned the ongoing humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in Darfur. She highlighted the continued targeting of civilian populations, including internally displaced persons camps, and the rising levels of gender-based violence, calling for immediate accountability. Ambassador Prasad welcomed the intensified efforts by the International Criminal Court's ICC Office of the Prosecutor, including the deployment of a dedicated gender-based crimes expert and new partnerships to investigate crimes involving women, children, and vulnerable communities.
As the situation in Sudan worsens daily with no end in sight, Guyana is gravely concerned about the continued airstrikes and bombardment on cities and IDP camps, the deteriorating humanitarian crisis, which has been described as the worst ever recorded, and the high levels of rape and sexual violence. 25 million people are reported as facing acute food insecurity, and extreme famine looms for hundreds of thousands of civilians. Guyana reiterates its call for an immediate cessation of hostilities and urges the parties to engage in good faith in political dialogue and diplomatic efforts towards a durable ceasefire, and to ensure that humanitarian aid reaches those in need in accordance with IHL. Mr. President, it is more urgent than ever for the Office of the Prosecutor to make concrete progress on investigations and prosecutions in Sudan.
She further stressed that more than 25 million people are now facing acute food insecurity, with famine threatening hundreds of thousands. The ambassador noted that bombardment and airstrikes continue, even as diplomatic efforts stall, and again is urging all parties to immediately halt hostilities and engage in meaningful political dialogue to allow humanitarian aid to reach those in need. She also pressed for swift investigations and prosecutions, noting the ICC has confirmed reasonable grounds to believe war crimes and crimes against humanity continue to be committed in Sudan.
Swift investigation and prosecution can contribute to stemming the wave of terror in Sudan. We welcome the intensified efforts of the office to deliver concrete landmarks based on evidence collected and partnerships with a wide range of actors. It is noted that the office has collected evidence concerning alleged crimes of killing, pillaging, attacks against internally displaced persons camps, indiscriminate targeting of civilian populations, gender-based crimes, and crimes against children. We welcome the priority given to investigating gender-based crimes and the addition of a dedicated expert on gender-based crimes to the team. It is acknowledged that the office's efforts are being made as it continues to face significant challenges.
Ambassador Prasad further emphasized that without justice and accountability, the cycle of violence, especially against women, will persist.
The insufficiency of resources for the office to carry out key functions relative to the seriousness and scale of atrocities being committed is also of concern. We underscore the crucial importance of enhanced cooperation between the Sudanese authorities and the Office of the Prosecutor for progress to be made in the investigative activities of the office, and call on the government of Sudan to continue to cooperate with the court in accordance with obligations under Resolution 1593. We acknowledge the recent improvements in cooperation. We also emphasize the need for continued cooperation and assistance between the Office of the Prosecutor and national authorities of third states. The intensified engagement with civil society, organizations, victims, survivors, and affected communities is welcome, as are the efforts of the office to support capacity-building activities for civil society organizations documenting international crimes in Darfur.
Ambassador Prasad concluded with a strong message of support for the ICC and its independent mandate to bring justice to victims and survivors. When we return, inside the high-tech world of NISA, how drones, satellites, and AI are keeping Guyana safe. Stay with us.
The ExxonMobil Guyana Global Super League is back, and it's bigger than ever. Defending champions, Rangpur Riders return to defend their crown. But the Warriors, the proud hosts, are ready to battle on home soil. The best from Australia, New Zealand, and the UAE join the fight for global glory. The ultimate test, the ultimate prize. It's the clash of the T20 champions. Get your tickets now at Warriors Box Office or GSLT20.com.
Welcome back. While Guyana takes a stand on global atrocities, it's also sharpening its own defenses. Let's take a closer look at how the National Intelligence and Security Agency is using smart tools to keep the country safe. The National Intelligence and Security Agency, NISA, plays a vital role in Guyana's national security. On episode 4 of Safeguarding Our Nation, aired today, NISA Director and Chairman of the National Defense Institute Advisory Board, Colonel Sheldon Howell, emphasized that national security is everyone's business. NISA acts as the country's main hub for intelligence gathering and coordination. It brings together multiple agencies, technologies, and partnerships to protect the nation. Colonel Howell explained how NISA uses special intelligence alongside the Guyana Defense Force, Police Force, Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, and other key services.
When drones spotted illegal airstrips and mining camps deep in Region 9, we were able to deploy teams quickly to shut down those illegal operations, thanks to community information as well as aerial surveillance. Another one is when Venezuelan illegal vessels cross into our waters. We have radar systems and coastal surveillance systems, along with GPS TAC patrols that let us intercept these vessels and protect our territory. In the cities, Marcio, we have CCTV cameras and a new e-ticketing system, which helps to reduce traffic violations and assists in police investigations.
He noted that citizens are central to this security network, which uses drones, satellite images, artificial intelligence, and other tools to detect threats on land, at sea, in the air, and online.
In our hinterlands, we use cross-border tracking systems that allow us to track movements of people, which helps to understand potential threats. But at the heart of it is the command center, which connects the dots and help us to respond quickly. Marcio, you may not see it work all the time, but it's working behind the scenes to keep our country and people safe.
On privacy concerns, Howell was clear. People's freedoms are taken seriously.
Yes, we use CCTV, sophisticated cameras, drones, satellite imagery, and other AI systems that detect patterns. But hear this. We stick rigidly to the laws that govern us. Every piece of equipment is loved and audited, and there is no access to footage without traceability. We also have strict access control and oversight systems. And soon, we'll have an oversight board with civil society voices. We've also upgraded the response mechanism to missing persons, especially children. And soon enough as well, we'll have a national alert system that sends real-time information to your phones, TVs, radios, and social media platforms.
He highlighted that the tools are not threats and will earn the public's trust once used with discipline and purpose. China's new ambassador to Guyana, Yang, has pledged that Chinese companies operating locally will respect and follow the country's laws and regulations. The commitment was made during a meeting last week with Private Sector Commission Chairman Captain Jerry Gov't Jr. as both sides explored stronger business collaboration. Key areas of focus included construction, agriculture, and technology. According to the PSC, Ambassador Yang reaffirmed China's support for Guyana's development and expressed interest in partnering with local companies to build capacity. She also agreed to work closely with the PSC to ensure that Chinese-owned businesses operating in Guyana play by the rules. The meeting comes amid complaints from local business owners about the rapid rise of Chinese supermarkets and other enterprises in communities, with concerns that some may be sidestepping local laws and undercutting competition. Still, the PSC says engagement with Ambassador shows a shared commitment to strong international partnerships, economic growth, and good governance. 40 young people from Region 3 have graduated from the Board of Industrial Training, specializing in key technical fields. The group includes 18 trained in electrical engineering, 13 in welding and fabrication, and 9 in auto mechanics. The graduation took place on Wakenham Island, attended by families, community leaders, and BIT officials. Graduates received hands-on technical training, monthly stipends, safety gear, and nationally recognized certificates. BIT CEO Richard Mon encouraged the graduates to keep learning and applying their skills, saying that in today's fast-changing economy, it is not what you know, but what you can do that counts. Many BIT graduates are entering the booming oil and gas sector, but skilled workers are also in high demand in local industries like electrical services, welding, and construction. Since 2020, the Ministry of Labor and BIT have invested over $24 million in Region 3 alone, training 243 people. Nationally, more than 13,000 have been trained, with women making up 60% of those graduates. When we come back, Barbadians say the new Palmyra Stadium could change the game for local sports and tourism.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
GECOM Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose GECOM's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Ignite News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. We head now to Berbice, where construction of the Palmyra Stadium is sparking pride, hope, and big dreams for the region's young athletes and tourism leaders. Excitement is building across Berbice as construction continues on the much-anticipated Palmyra Stadium, a multi-purpose facility set to reshape the sporting and tourism landscape in Region 6. Culture, Youth, and Sport Minister Charles Ramson Jr. acknowledged there have been some delays, but confirmed that the project remains on schedule and is progressing steadily. From national cricketers to tourism officials, supporters say the stadium is a game changer.
We know the only stadium right now is the Providence Stadium, and with a brand new stadium as the Palmyra Stadium, hopefully it encourages and excites younger youths to come out and play. Being a Guyanese and a Barbadian as well, it feels really good, and also being a cricketer, having a stadium about 5 minutes from where I live, it would come in handy, especially right now with the rainy season in. Hopefully when the stadium is there, we can benefit from it quite a lot more.
Former national cricketer and West Indies star player Devendra Bishu said the Palmyra Stadium is an amazing initiative, and when completed will be a dream fulfilled for all Barbadians.
For the youngsters, I think is a good opportunity for them for grow and build as young cricketers. Well, the cricket all start from grassroots, so the grassroots is very important, and having a stadium in Barbados is a huge thing for us. It's a huge project, and remember over the years we've been watching CPL at the National Stadium, so it's good that probably next year we could have cricket in Barbados. We take about 2.5, 3 hours to get to the stadium. Now in Barbados you could get there about 15-20 minutes, which is good for the people them too. So it's a really good initiative, and I want to thank our president for that. And growing up in Barbados, again, as I was saying, growing up in Barbados without a stadium, it was different times, but you could see clearly now that we have a clear path of where we want cricket to go.
For Liliana Grimmond, a cricketer from Rose Hall Kanji Cricket Club, the stadium will be a blessing, especially when it rains, since it's difficult to train on rural grounds. She also lauded investments being made to sport in the region.
I think that the developments that's being done and the investments in sports right now is very good for young cricketers, not just senior cricketers. I think that a lot of the young cricketers coming up, well, you may have some that coming in and don't have gears to play, and I think that the investment that the government has been doing for the younger players, it's very good.
But it's not just athletes who are celebrated. The region's tourism stakeholders are also taking notice, and among them is Randy Mangru, president of the Regional Tourism Committee.
I believe that the Barbados National Stadium is a plus for Barbados. It will bring major economical turnover to Barbados, and it will help many persons and encourage young people of Region Number 6 to get into sports too. Because we have seen that Barbados has produced many sporting athletes to the national level, to the international level, and so forth. And I think that is a step up, and that's a plus for the Barbadian, because we have been able to provide many athletes such as Motish, Romario Shepard, Shamron Hetty-Meyer, and Kevin Sinclair, and Joseph Anderson, and all of them. Those are persons that have come out of Barbados from grassroots cricketing. And so I believe that the stadium here is definitely a plus for us Barbadians. It would bring major economical turnover in the tourism sector, in the hospitality sector. And as we all know, Palmyra is being developed as a hub, a business hub in the country, and much like Providence on the East Bank in Georgetown. And so we are expecting that, we're going to have a major influx of people and tourists from across the diaspora here in Guyana.
As construction continues, the Palmyra Stadium is shaping up to be a key addition to Region 6's infrastructure. Once completed, it is expected to provide improved facilities for athletes, support sports development, and create new opportunities in tourism and community engagement. Still in sports, a mega night of boxing is coming to the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall on August 9th. Elton Dairy Promotions and Next Gen Global Promotions, in partnership with the Ghana Boxing Board of Control and the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, have finalized plans for a star-studded fight night. The main event, a fierce 10-round showdown for the Guyana Cruiserweight national title between internet sensation Lord Stewart and James Moore. Guyanese boxing icon Elton Dari also returns to the ring against Panama's Roger Saldana as part of his build-up to a world title shot in October. Also on the card, rising star Kevin Alicock faces Colombia's Omar Coelho, while veteran Dexter Marquez meets Colombian brawler Sammy Ramos. The evening begins with an amateur undercard presented by the Guyana Boxing Association. Cricket history has been made in Jamaica, but for all the wrong reasons for West Indies fans. Australia bowled out the Windies for just 27 runs, the second lowest total in Test history, to clinch a 176-run win and a 3-0 series sweep. The BBC confirmed its lowest Test total since New Zealand's 26 in 1955 and now marks the West Indies' worst ever collapse, beating their previous low of 47. Mitchell Starc led the charge in his 100th Test with a stunning 6 for 9, including 5 wickets in just 15 balls, the fastest 5-wicket haul ever recorded. He also passed the 400-wicket milestone. Scott Boland added insult to the injury with a hat trick to finish off the tale. Earlier in the day, night test, Australia were bowled out for 121, with Alzarri Joseph grabbing 5 for 27. Chasing 204, the Windies never got going, losing 5 wickets for just 7 runs. Rawson Chase called the defeat heartbreaking, as the series ended in humiliation. Still ahead, as the sports world digests that shocking West Indies defeat, troubling news is also emerging from the Caribbean media sector. Stay with us. Ignite News continues after the break. Welcome back. Nearly 100 jobs are at risk as Loop News and Sports Max shut down across the region. Trinidad and Tobago's Labor Minister, Leroy Baptiste, is voicing concern over the closure of Loop News and Sport Max, which is expected to leave nearly 100 workers across the Caribbean jobless. The shutdown was confirmed by Digicel, the parent company, which says it's shifting away from consumer media to focus on enterprise services like cybersecurity and cloud solutions. Minister Baptiste told Guardian Media that every retrenchment is cause for concern, stressing that job loss affects not just individuals, but entire families and society. He said more research is needed before commenting on government support, but affirmed his commitment to job protection, calling employment everything to a worker. Digicel move follows its acquisition of Simtai and reflects a pivot towards scalable ICT services in the region. In international news, the U.S. Supreme Court has cleared the way for the Trump administration to resume downsizing the Department of Education. In a brief order, the justices lifted a lower court's block on mass layoffs and the transfer of key functions to other federal agencies. It's part of Donald Trump's push to return education control to the states. Critics, including 21 Democratic attorneys general, several school districts, and unions, say the move risks delaying aid and civil rights enforcement in schools. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, in dissent, warned of untold harm to students, saying the decision hands the president too much power. Despite the controversy, Education Secretary Linda McMahon called the ruling a win for students and families. Trump's plan would eventually shut down the department, shifting services like student loans and special education to other agencies. Legal battles continue in lower courts. Finally this evening, UK Finance Minister Rachel Reeves is rolling out major reforms to reinvigorate the country's financial sector. In a statement today, Reeves said the goal is to get more everyday savers investing in shares, not just leaving their money in low-yield accounts. The new measures include simpler regulations for smaller firms, relaxed capital requirements for mid-sized banks, and easier mortgage access. From April next year, banks will also be allowed to alert customers about investment opportunities, a move designed to shift habits and boost retail investment. Reeves is also eyeing British pension funds as a growth engine and considering reducing the tax incentives for savers using cash-only individual saving accounts as a way to increase investment in stocks and shares. Meanwhile, regulators like the Financial Conduct Authority and Financial Ombudsman will undergo changes to speed up dispute resolution and align with reforms. The Bank of England announced it's delaying part of the Basel reforms to help banks free up capital, another signal that financial flexibility is back on the table. The UK currently ranks lowest in retail investing among the G7, but the government is betting on these reforms to turn that around. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.